How you doing, buddy? Can you hear me?
I can, mate. I can hear me.
Oh, can't hear you. 1 second, mate. It's a disaster before it's even started, isn't it?
No worries, mate. Can you hear us, yeah?
Let's see. Unmuted. Still can't hear you, pal.
Yeah.
Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you fine, mate.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good job I can lip read, innit?
You want us to go back out and come back in?
Yeah, it's not letting me... 1 second. Let's try again.
1, 2.
1, 2. There we go. We've got you. How are you doing, buddy? Yeah, got you. Nice to meet you, mate.
And you, mate? You okay?
Yeah, not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. We're just waiting for... Who have we got down here? Hey, up the main man.
Yay!
You're all right.
I'm
mate.
You've had me worried all afternoon thinking that you're not going to be coming on.
Mate, I'm not going to lie, mate. I wasn't going to. I'm just making a quick coffee. I don't believe it. I've got no coffee.
Uh-oh. Roof's going to fall off. Hulk smash.
Oh, my God.
Just going to give it a couple of minutes. We're going to get Fighting Trolls coming on. And Paul Stansby is coming on as well.
All right, mate.
So we'll give it a couple of minutes.
I don't believe there's no coffee in this house.
It's one. I think it's the one thing that we always check, and my head falls off when we've not got any.
I don't believe this. I don't believe it.
Jab signature.
That's not a cup of coffee's worth laying there, is it?
Nah.
Yeah, just pour it in. You'll be right. Just do like an espresso with it.
Oh, mate, my head's going to fall off here. I've had a bad day as it is, man.
Well, I noticed that, so I didn't want to bother you.
Oh. I need to get... Right, listen, I'll be on in a minute. I need to sort some coffee out. I'm back on in a minute.
You go sort some coffee out, mate. You do
I'll
what you need to do.
I'll be 2 minutes.
Right, sound. So tell us about some of the stuff that you're doing at the minute, mate, because I see that you're very busy. You're always promoting different things. So give us a bit of a blast of what you're up to.
To be honest, mate, for me, really just concentrating on the acting this year. The podcast's obviously taking care of itself, but with regards to the acting, obviously I wrote my first film script last year, which was the Sears film. We're now waiting for the budget to be completed, which will be the 1st of February. Once that is completed, it's then about getting the financing. We've been led to believe that shouldn't be an issue. We're just waiting for the final figure, and then once we've got that, it'll be about getting that film plotted and ready for October. So you're looking at October for starting to film the Sears film in the northeast of England. For me personally, I've just been casting a film called Requiem. It's my first lead villain role, so I get the script for that next week. I've got 2 weeks to learn the lines, and then I'm filming at the end of February. So I'm down in London for a week filming. So it's a suspense like thriller where I'm playing a hitman in it. So it's great for me, mate, because obviously I've had some great roles, but none of them have been leading roles. So the pressure's starting to up, but it's great that I've got this at the start of the year, because obviously I'm playing Stephen Sayers in the film at the end of the year. So it's a little bit of preparation for that. But yeah, I mean, I'm still ticking over with events as and when COVID's affected them massively. Because I was writing the script, I didn't do any books last year. So this year, I have got 2 books that I'm going to at least complete from my point of view. I've got...
Yes, boys!
Hey!
Here he is. No, it all sounds good. Sounds like you're nice and busy.
Busy, mate.
Nice, Steve-O.
Nice to meet you, mate, on here. Good to see you. I've been watching your work, mate. Very good.
Yes. And you, brother. Good, yeah?
Yeah, good, mate. Apart from Newcastle getting beat off Cambridge today, I'm fine.
Hey, listen, before we start, right, I've got a fucking belting little offer for you, Steve. 1 sec, mate, right?
As long as it's not a fight.
No. I am a fucking proper mid-actor, bro, right? Yeah. I've done loads of like acting skills on my fucking channel, right? I'm fucking mid. I can play any actor you want, yeah? So if you ever need anyone in a film, and I'm being serious, I would love to play a role. I am mid at acting, bro. When I was younger, I acted, and they were saying, you know, in like plays and that, they were like, look, you're very good at it. And I'm good, mate, trust me. So
can you put a can you make a cup of tea and put a Geordie accent on and wear an eye patch?
Do it now. Do it now.
I can't do it. That's the only thing I'm shit at. I can do
you've got to improvise.
The only accents I can do, yeah, is like a bit of a Scouse accent, but I'm good at acting. I can pretend, you know, I can pretend things and that. And, you know,
we were saying to him a few weeks ago now, and there were quite a few of us in his on his Fighting Trolls page on a live, and he said he'd be a good actor, and he were basically playing out to be the landlord.
Yeah,
and it was probably one of the funniest things I've seen on YouTube.
Brilliant.
I'm not a bad actor, am I?
It was good.
It's good. It's good. Honestly, the world of YouTube has certainly been interesting over the last 12 months. That's for certain. And you played your part, mate. So brilliant, mate. Really, really good. Yeah.
Hey, Steve-O, make sure you keep me in mind, mate.
I will do, mate. I will do. I mean, for me, I'm still learning. I'm still learning a lot of things. But hey, listen, I'll always keep you in mind, mate. One of the best films that was made in Liverpool was Shooters. That was brilliant.
What, did you make that?
No, it was one of my favourite films, but that's inspired me for this.
What a film that is, by the way.
Two nights ago, I was only watching that fucking Shooters at 3 o'clock in the morning, not well in bed watching Shooters, bro. Fucking class, bro.
Franny's still alive, but there's about 5 or 6 of them dead from that film.
What about the tall black geezer? Is he, you know, the big guy? Is he alive?
Yes. Yeah. But it's a great film, that. That film was done without a script. Basically, the drug dealers played drug dealers, the prostitutes played prostitutes, the doorman played doorman, and the director didn't have a script, and he just basically gave people a scenario and then told them to act, and that was how that film was made.
Do you know what, mate? That's probably a fucking good idea. You could try that out, you know, lad. Listen, I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah, brilliant way of doing it, but that's a cult film, that, like, it really is. It's one of my favourite films. One of my favourite British gangster films because it's genuine, you know.
Yeah. Steve, can I just ask you a bit of a question, mate? Obviously, I'll be honest to you, I don't get a lot of time to watch YouTube, mate. I know I am on YouTube, but I don't get a lot of time to watch it because I'm always like on the phone or on voice notes, and, you know, like talking all the time. So I don't get time to watch it. So I don't really know a lot about you. I've obviously watched your lives with the boys and that, yeah. But I don't know a lot about you, so I'd like to fucking get to know you properly. So I'm giving you the fucking one time only offer, Steve, all right, to come into the Snake Pit, right, for a full interview, if you're game for it one night.
100%, mate. I'll do it for you. No problem.
Go on, Steve Rayflat, in the house.
No worries, lad. I'll come and do it for you.
I mentioned you a couple of days ago, Steve, when I was on there. I said you'd go on.
Well, of course I will.
But you know what? Hey, Steve, because I did my first bit of an interview last week with that Pablo, the officer, right? So can I do it? Can I do it like so? Say to you, so yes, Steve-O. So where did you grow up? And like go through it like that. And how was your schooling?
Do what you want, mate. Because honestly, I've got no skeletons in the cupboard. I've got no, you know, I'm not bothered about anything. So you can ask us about anything, mate. You know, obviously.
What is Steve? Listen,
just give us a shout. Give us a shout and let us know, mate. I'll happily do it.
I'll follow you on Instagram, mate, and give you a bit of a message, yeah?
Yeah, spot on, mate. No problem. Look forward to it, mate.
Yes, that is.
Look forward to it. Yeah, 100%.
How's your day been, mate? You've had a bit of a rough one. You don't have to talk about it, like, but are you all right?
I don't mind talking about me. This stuff that I suffer with can sometimes give me anxiety before I go to sleep, and it can just set me off with this fucking head that I live with. Do you know what I mean? And then I really struggled to get asleep. And then the more you struggle, the more you stew, the more. And sometimes, like, it's not like me preaching, like, or telling people suggestions of how to get rid of it, I want to do what I do. Sometimes I struggle with applying it myself. Do you know what I mean? And you know, it is when this head's my own worst enemy, mate. And if it had me over late last night, and I had about 2 hours to keep, and I just couldn't be arsed with the world today. But
do you feel like you're much better at giving advice than taking your own?
It can be that way. I mean, don't get me wrong. The reason why I can give the advice is because I work hard every day. But there's some days where I struggle to apply my stuff. Do you know what I mean? And it can get the better of me. Do you know what I mean? Which I'm only human, but I managed to arrest it. You know, I recognised it, and I arrested it a few times today by reaching out, speaking to my sponsor. You know, looking at a few things and just correcting it and putting it at rest. You know, because I knew what I needed to do. I just struggled last night, but I managed to do it today, and you know, it's took me all day, like, but I'm all right now. Yeah.
Good man, Paul. Good man. Keep it up,
if you don't mind me asking, what's your sort of coping mechanisms? I mean, I know that you do train a lot. I've seen that, and it is nice to see when you. Obviously, we were messaging this morning and whatnot, but
yeah,
nice to see when you're up and about. Do you know what I mean? And you go and training.
Well, I went to the gym. I went to the gym twice today. You know, like this morning, I worked out on my head. You know, I done a lot of praying, bit of meditation. You know, sort of the meditation is sort of sitting there, changing the way you think and being at one, being at peace, trying to get comfortable in your own skin. You know, and I managed to do that. You know, with my prayer. Then I spoke to my sponsor. The moment I make the decision to ring my sponsor, I instantly feel better because I know that's what I need to do. See, it sounds so simple, just going, hey mate, you're all right, I'm struggling. But putting it into action and getting it done, sometimes it's hard, do you know what I mean? It's hard, it's hard, because your head doesn't want you to do that, do you know what I mean? But I managed to do it, and I instantly felt better when the phone was ringing, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
Paul, I love your videos, mate. Man, honestly, I've been watching a few of them, and I mean, I feel for you, mate, because obviously we've known each other a while because of the connection.
Man, I've seen a bit.
But you know what? Your videos have been inspirational, and I think people who are at that level and need to listen, you know, they just need to come to yours. They'll learn a lot from you, Paul. So keep going, mate. Keep fighting. You know, I'm always at the end of the phone, Paul, if you ever need a chat, mate.
I know that, Steve. I know that, mate. And you know, the same goes for you, Ash, and Paul, and that. You know, like you're always there. You know what it is. It's. I know I'm on the right path. I know I'm choosing to do the right thing. But then I shared it with Paul earlier on. I don't mind sharing it now. I suffer with this thing called low self-worth, where I hate the sound of my own voice. I hate the way I look. I suffer with body dysmorphia. You know, It's just something that I've got, you know, and I can put to rest most days, but fucking hell, sometimes it's hard. You know what I mean? It's really hard, and it's just, I do feel weak as a person when I feel this way, and then that sets in as well. Going, hold on a minute, you're meant to be a fighter, you're meant to be a big strong lad. Like, what are you doing feeling like this? And then that gets me as well. But
yeah, that's all mental games. That is, mate. You got to remember that when you're feeling weak, when you get through that, just know that you're stronger.
Exactly, mate. Well, when I come back from that recent relapse that I had, and I fucking struggled to come back from that, like something you wouldn't believe, man. Because I just want the next best thing for me to do was just to get straight back on it and not feel how I felt, you know, and just keep going and going. But for the 2 days that I struggled with it, that I couldn't get over it, when I did get over it, and the effort and the work that I'd applied and put in, on that third day, I felt brand new. I hadn't felt that good in a long time because 7 years I was clean and sober, but for the last 3 years, that 7 year, I hadn't applied nothing. It was just my way, you know, and fucking no wonder that I used it. I was thankful I never used any time sooner, because it was like holding on by my fingertips, because I know what I need to do to stay clean. I know what I need to apply every day. And for that last 3 years of my 7 year clean time, I never done a thing. I just sat in my ass and just lost all the gratitude of where I was, you know, totally forgot where I'd come from. And it was just like, I was just off. I become that judgmental person, that egotistic pride. Not everything was just back to square one for me, and I just ran with it for 3 years like a lunatic. But I think this set it in motion for me when I started this channel up, when I jumped on Paul's live and started talking about addiction and that. I started thinking, whoa, what am I doing? Again, started low self-worth, felt like a failure, fake, bang, went out and used. Had a few personal things going on as well, but when I come back from that relapse, I'm very grateful for it, because I've never felt so strong in a long time in my recovery, in my fellowship, in the program that I'm involved in. You know what I mean? So
that's what threw me off. I think it was a couple of weeks ago when you'd said you'd had your struggle, and you were, the next video, you walking around your garden I think it was the day after in the morning, and you were grateful, and it threw me off. I thought, because you didn't look rough and all that sort of stuff, and I thought it was just it was a very strange thing to see. Not strange in like a weird way, but it's just not what I expected whatsoever. It weren't what I expected.
How I can feel 124 hours, the next 24 hours can be totally different, innit? Because that's how we live. It's only like, you don't, it's just for a day. I don't have to use. It's just for a day, Paul. It's just for a day, you know. So the 24 hours, I'm all right. Like, if I can apply it like that, then I'm fine. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? Who cares what happened yesterday? You know, just for a day, Paul. Do you know, like, and that's it's an excellent way of living for someone who is so compulsive and obsessive, like I am. It's just a perfect way of living, because if for example, my mate's wedding, you know, it's in Turkey, and it's in a couple of months, and I'm his best man. Everyone's going to get. Imagine not having a fellowship and thinking about, I need to stay clean. What about that wedding? Every day will be obsessive thinking, because I know I'm going to use at this wedding. You know, so when I heard this way of living of just for a day, Paul, who cares? Like, that's miles away of just for a day. It's sort of, you stop procrastinating. Is that the word? Procrastinate. I think that's the word, isn't it? Where you're thinking about what's coming ahead and what you're going to do that time of day, and not, it's hard. You know what I mean? It's
very hard, mate. I know exactly what you mean, Paul. Listen, I've gone through shit like that myself, mate. And it's life's hard. It's what your brain fucking does with day. It's mad, isn't it? It's crazy.
I think it's one of the things, isn't it? It's such a common thing. I mean, I've been on citalopram for a couple of years now, and they do it. Do you know what? It's one of them. I started on a very low. I started on 10 milligram, and it was through a couple of different things that had happened, and I was ill in hospital and all this sort of stuff, and everything kind of hit home. Everything just hit me at once, so I did find it difficult. I weren't at a point where, you know, suicidal or anything like that. I'm just in a mood and just not myself, and I'm usually really upbeat and all that sort of stuff. And this week in the comment section,
thank you. Cheers. You as well.
It's a very frequent thing that, you know, there's a lot of people going through it, and if I don't have that little tiny tablet in the morning after it.
What is it you take, mate? What is it you take?
Citalopram. Antidepressants.
Yeah, I've had most of that. The worst one I was on was metrazapine. No, metrazapine or metrazapine.
Yeah, they're horrible. They are absolutely horrible.
Shit.
Disgusting. They make you not even feel like you're even ready for that day, let alone the world.
Yeah,
it's just your head's in a dark cloud, isn't it? It's just See, again, like, because they've got a sleeping sedative in them, haven't they?
Yeah,
I would find myself taking that extra one or two. I'll just take them for 7 o'clock at night. Next thing you know, I'm taking 3, and then I'm walking around the house like a zombie.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's the family that's around you that's viewing you like that, because you don't see yourself like that.
No.
Right.
You know, I'm just take the tablets to make yourself feel better. Go on, Ash. What?
If you don't mind, mate, I'm going to jump in, because I was speaking to Steve and he said he'd spare us half an hour, so I don't want to take too much of his time up. So the reason why we're here is, obviously, we're involved with the 3D Fight Club. The event's taking place 19th of Manchester this year, 19th of March, in Manchester at Bowlers. I know that Paul is a massive advocate, one for mental health, which is brilliant. There's people in the comments that are, you know, giving him praise and whatnot. So Paul has a daughter who's autistic, and he's a big advocate for Daisy Chain as well. So I'm going to pass it over to you, Paul, and if you will give us a bit of a brief into what Daisy Chain is, what it means to you, and how donations would help, then that'd be great.
Yeah. So when my daughter got diagnosed with this, and obviously, I struggled with it, with the autism stuff. I struggled with it, but I quickly realised how big it is, and because it was such a surprise to me how big autism was. Like, I wasn't aware of it. The only time I was aware of it is off Rain Man. So you watch Rain Man and you see the bloke who's outside. That was the best time I've ever heard of it. That was the only time. If someone mentioned autism, my mindset would go back to Rain Man. What a film. And that's all I would think. So when my daughter was getting diagnosed with this, and we were going through all this testing, it quickly dawned on me that almost everyone you speak to has a daughter, a child, or a brother, or a nephew, or a sister who's autistic. Someone close to them, 9 times out of 10, is autistic. And I just thought, what? Like, and it sort of blew the socks off me, because I'd be lying if I said I wasn't gutted about this thing, this autism stuff, what my daughter had. But for the first few weeks, first few months, I'd say I really struggled, as a parent. I struggled, worry, everything that I worry about. Well. Yeah. But
we had that conversation.
Yeah, we did. But I quickly realised how unique she is, how special she is, how different. But, the bottom end of it is I come to quickly learn that I wouldn't change her for the world. It doesn't matter what I want to blame, whose fault it was. At the end of the day, if there's a cure for it, I would not change it for the world. So when I come to terms with it, I thought, right, started finding schools and started seeing these little things that, because there's not much out there for autistic kids, especially in my area, to do. But the school that she's involved in, and then I looked at the charities. So first and foremost, charities by law only have to give 5% of their intake, and that's by law. So I found it a bit wrong in my eyes. It's just my opinion. I thought it was a bit out of order, and I thought, because it is a massive, profitable business, charity. But the word charity shouldn't be profitable in my eyes. That's what I think anyway. So this daisy chain, this autism daisy chain charity is basically they give like 70 or 75% to charity of intake, and the rest is just is paid out for costs. If people are working for daisy chain autism, the autism charity, for a living, then they need gas bills. They need to be paid for. So that I am fine with that, as long as we're not becoming millionaires like every other charity does. I'm fine with that. So I donated my book pays, I think it's 30%, 20 or 30% to daisy chain. The ones that I sell from my door or online, the ones I sell myself, all that goes to daisy chain charity. Every penny of it. I don't make 1 pence extra.
Well done,
so
mate.
Yeah, that's my shout for the daisy chain autism charity. It's on my heart, and it's going to continue to be.
Brilliant. Yeah. So the way that this is going to work is we've set up a Just Giving page. I've set it up today. I did send it over to you if you've seen it.
Yeah,
So basically, we've got Daisy Chain and we've got Dr. Kershaw's Hospice, which provides basically end-of-life care. So it's close to me because my family members go in. My oldest 2 brothers' mum was also in there. And they solely run off donations. They do a lottery and all sorts of stuff. It's one of them for me. They're a local hospice, and a lot of people, obviously, more Greater Manchester way, a lot of people have had family members in there. So the way that it's going to work is that whatever money comes in through the link that we've put up, the donation link, anything that comes in through that, 100% of it it'll be split straight down the middle and given to the 2 charities. So we're going to do it up until the Manchester event, and then once we've done that, we'll pick 2 new charities then. So 2 other people pick the charities, and we'll go on with the next one. Go on, Paul.
Hey lads, sorry. Can I just say one thing, just quick? I've just thought of an idea because what I've seen in other boxing events. Yeah? So when we're there that night, we get a few young'uns, yeah, who we will take to the fight or whatever, and get them to go around with buckets with t-shirts on of the charity, yeah, and obviously get them to go around with buckets, and all the people will chuck 5s in quids. Trust me, we'll raise a right few quid, bro. So
I've got a meeting with Dr. Kershaws in the next 2 weeks, and I know that Paul he's arranging to go and see a few people over at Daisy Chain. So we're going to have a conversation about whether it's possible to get to get people there, but we are going to be splitting it. Like I said, it's going to be split straight down the middle.
How much are you looking to raise?
I put 50 grand on the website on
That's
the link.
what I'm talking about.
So
Brilliant.
we might as well, you know, if we aim for the stars and land on the moon, then we're good, aren't we?
Yeah, and if we all help each other do it off all our different platforms, because there's a lot of kind people out there, mate. You know, there is.
That's it, mate. There is a lot of kind people, and it's not just about it being personal to me. There's so many families that are affected by the same as everything else that's happened. Do you know what I mean? It's
can I ask a question? I donate £10 a month. Yeah, it comes out my bank. I know it's on tenner, but it's still helping. I donate £10 a month to a charity called Scope. What Scope is that? Is that like what Scope? Because I don't know.
If you Google it, Paul, if you Google Scope, you'll find everything you need. No, I don't mean to be disrespectful, bro. Yeah. It'll tell you most of the information, and if you look mostly at the websites, it'll tell you in small print how much they have to give. Yeah. See, but what you'll do is when you scroll for websites, they'll either have it in big bold if they're given a lot, or they'll have it in small, tiny at the bottom if they're given tiny amounts.
So is that
for all charity? We do this, we do that. But then I'm not dissing any other charity, by the way, because it's like I'm not saying all charities do that. But I just when I found out that, it sort of hurt me a little bit to think that, you know, I can watch all these charities raise millions and think, where does that all go?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we were
content, isn't it? Really?
Of course, I was doing this thing for a guy called Mawinda. We built a water well. Me and my brother Dave, who's in prison now at the moment, but it's another story. Anyway, we were doing this thing, just me and him, the money every month. He's in prison from a conspiracy that was going from 5 years. Give his life to God, Anyway,
I met him over there.
The way you said it.
Yeah, no, but the way I said it felt like, I was in prison. No, it was from years ago. Like it was just being hanging over him. Anyway, so when we found out that, do you know what's the clothing? No, the way you see the skips where you put your clothes in, they give you like 50 pence, or they just all the clothing. They sell them on the markets. They don't give them to the kids in Africa. They sell them on the markets.
Yeah.
All that clothing that goes to charity is not given to the children. It's not given to them.
Yeah,
it's sold on markets. You know, like 10-year-old fucking Arsenal tops, and you know you won't see a Borough or Newcastle top up there, mate. But you know, it's all the Arsenal and the old school. Mate, I couldn't believe it. This guy was like, so he had I say the Arsenal because he had a 10-year-old Arsenal top on. I went, oh, that's smart. And he said, oh, I give 200,000 African money for that. I went, how much is that? He said, oh, about 12 quid. I went, what? Why have you paid that much for that? The clothing from over yours comes on the market and gets sold here cheap. I went, that's not cheap for that t-shirt, mate. You know, and again, it just confirmed. You know, when you charities bombarded everywhere saying, "Oh, this," nah.
Yeah.
You know,
so when they sell the clothes on the market, does the money then go into the charity, or is it?
No, it just goes back. It's a profitable business for this clothing charity. Like it doesn't just go. Like the clothes, like that money goes back to them. So no wonder they're running around picking all these clothes and putting skips on every corner, because there's one in Matalan, one at B&Q with the skips where you go put all your clothes in.
You got them at Asda and Tesco's here as well.
So you're giving them all these clothing, and then they just get shipped to Africa on a big massive truck or whatever, and then they get sold there.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Oh man, like I couldn't believe it. It was just mental, absolutely mental. But
yeah,
it is what it is. It is what it is.
Well, I think this could be a really good thing that we're doing, and obviously everybody that's talking wet in the chat,
just ignore them, bro.
You're going to be able to go onto the links there at the bottom of the screen. You'll be able to monitor it as far as you want to monitor it. You can check it every day if you'd like to, and then after the first event at Manchester, there'll be, obviously we'll show everything and make sure that everything's split down the middle, and we'll deliver it to both charities.
Can I say something? Sorry, Ash, as well. Sorry, brother. So on my trackies that I'm getting made for me, Paul, and my other pal, so I'm getting 3 tracks made for fight night, and I'm gonna have the fucking them charities, the daisy chain and that, I'm gonna have them on the fight. halfway down my back, do you know what I mean? All sign written down and that, dead smart and that. Yeah. I'm obviously going to have my other sponsors on, do you know what I mean? I'm going to have fucking it all over me, do you know what I mean? I'm gonna
you better win going all out like this. Telling you.
Listen, Paul, I'm starting properly Monday. I've got 10 weeks basically, mate.
You get your ass down with me, mate, and you'll smash.
Yeah, I'll be 100%, mate. By Monday, I'll get over COVID. I've told everyone now I've had COVID again because I've got rid of it, so there's no fucking about now. I've had it. I've had the ear infection, really bad. I'm sound now, so I'm ready to go. Good. Monday, I'll be in fucking running, fighting, ready to go. I'll be fucking getting my suit made, my pineapple suit ready for the press conference, and then I'll be walking in like Conor McGregor.
Are you got a pineapple suit?
I've said to him that if he wears like shit shirt type stuff, then I'll pay for his drinks. Oh, yeah, so we'll see what he does.
Yeah. You need to get up. You need to get up and come and do some training with Venner. He'll get you right.
Oh, he'll batter you.
I'm coming. Steve,
bring your bum shield.
I'm going to be coming twice a week. Twice a week for the next 10 weeks. Have a little hour in the morning, a little hour in the afternoon with a minute.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Definitely.
What I'll say to you, Paul, is fair play to you for getting in, mate, because honestly,
absolutely,
anyone who steps in that ring for charity, or whether it's professional or whether it's amateur, it takes guts to get in the ring, honestly, mate. And fair play to you just to getting in there. Yeah. Especially people who are going in to fight bare knuckle. You know, that in itself is a completely different discipline to boxing, to anything else. And you know, big up to everybody going in just for doing it to raise awareness for these charities.
People call you like, oh, you're a pussy, you're fighting this guy, you're doing this, you're a pussy. Listen, like you just said, mate, you need some fucking big balls. I've done it twice, but fucking it wasn't properly. It was properly, but it wasn't planned. I didn't train. I just got in there on the spur of the moment in front of the crowd. So I've done it. I know how it feels, but when I done it that time, I had like 2 pints before I done it. This time I'm going in properly trained to a bare knuckle fight in front of a lot of people, and I've got a lot of weight on my shoulders. I've got a lot of people behind me, so I know I'm going to go in there, spark him out, and then we'll just go from there, innit? And have a buzz in it. Hopefully you'll be there, Steve. Paul will be there. We'll all be there.
Like what you said there, Steve. You got to respect anyone who would do it, because I'm telling you, you can be a tough guy on them streets, you can be a tough guy in life. There's only a small percentage of people on this earth that can get in there and actually let on the line and do it. I'm telling you, because even when I started doing it, I was, you know, my first 4 fights, they always seemed to be a fire exit door, my changing rooms, and I didn't know why. And I used to do it, because I'd swear to you, I used to look at the fire exit door and think, I'm off. Yeah, I did. Yeah. You know, and I'd always considered myself being a hard kid and a fighter, and I loved it and all that. But when it got serious, I was like, that God was putting that fire exit door on purpose to test
you. Testing you.
Oh, it was audible. But there's no better feeling. Like it's just the ultimate rush. It's the ultimate feeling. It's just something that I just know that there's not the average person couldn't go through, and that's the truth. Do you know what I mean? There's hundreds of thousands of fighters out there that I respect, and that even if it's someone who's had 20 fights and lost 19, you still got to respect that man for getting in there. Any journeyman, any fighter, it's a fucking mad way of life. I'm telling you.
Do you know what, Paul? You see all these clowns giving it big licks, like that, they wouldn't have the balls to go in that ring. People say I'm not going to turn up, mate. I'm not going to be on a platform every night in front of hundreds of people doing all this and that, speaking to you every day, coming to train with you when I come up. Do you think I'm not going to turn up, bro? I'll be there the night before, camping outside, waiting to get in.
He'll be sleeping at one of our houses for the week before it.
Trust me, bro. I'm coming in style, mate. Trust me.
You used to be a boxing promoter, didn't you, Steve? You used to put your own shows on that.
Yeah, I did 9 unlicensed, 9 years in the unlicensed game, and then I did 9 years in the pro game. So to be honest, the unlicensed was fantastic. I loved it. I loved every show that I put on was well matched. And I mean, I worked along with Spencer Brown from Blackpool, and I worked with Philip Riley, one of the big travelling men.
Brown.
Yeah.
Was it round about the same time as Tony Robbo, Steve?
Yeah, well, Tony Robbo and I were working with Spencer, and there was...
Yeah, because I was fighting for Tony then.
There was Craig Kent in Sunderland. who used to do
Craig, I know Craig Kent as well.
Yeah. So we all worked for the same. We all work for the European Boxing Federation. So
now you've done everything, you Steve. I don't know loads about you, but I've heard like stuff. You've done fucking acting, boxing, promoting, fucking porn, fucking everything. You know what I mean?
You say porn?
Didn't do porn, Paul.
Nah, you know the one. So.
I never landed in prison. If I never went to prison when I did, I think I'd have ended up boxing for you.
You've just seen Paddy's next video up. I've just heard Steve Wraith used to do porn when he was a young'un.
I'll be on somebody's short about you.
He's already gone live with
have banter, Steve. You know the one, Stuart. But listen,
Mr. Stan, go on.
Get it. Sorry. I talk loads, don't I? Sorry. But Steve, listen, please bear it in mind, yeah. I'm not lying now. I'm a fucking good actor, bro. So if you need any, like, you know,
I'll see how you do in this fight, and then if we get Venner a fight scene in the Sears film, I might have to get you in against him.
You need to act like you know what you're doing.
But the fight's like, this is real. The fight, but you'll see how. So you'll see how I act around the promotion side, yeah? So
okay.
Watch the press conference, bro. I bet you £1,000, right? I'll get a fucking phone call off Dana White's fucking CEO or something. I'm telling you. We got the new fucking Conor McGregor in, we have.
Him versus Paddy the Baddy.
Go through his channel, Steve. You'll see a bit of acting. He's done a bit.
I've seen a bit, Venner. I've seen a bit.
Well, the acting. You've seen the acting, Steve?
Yeah, I have, mate.
I'm all right, you know. I can listen when I'm good, mate. I'm really good. Like,
Paul. Listen, Steve is shit hot. I was in the most uncomfortable position when I went down there. Steve, remember? I went down, back in the role play and all that. Oh my God, it was fucking weird for me. But then when I sat and watched you and the other guys and that doing it, mate, it was so. I look so comfortable for you, you know, like these are shit hot, these, Paul. And when I felt so weird, like I was getting like nervous and sweaty. I was like, oh, fuck's sake.
You did well. You were massively out of your comfort zone, but you did well, mate. You did well.
You'll learn, man. You'll learn. Steve,
the good news for all the Venner fans is that he is in the film. The budget gets drawn up. It's getting drawn up at the minute, and then hopefully, you know, October we'll be filming it. You know, so you know he's going to be playing the dupper.
Can we go on the red carpet?
Hey, Paul. Paul. Sorry, I talk a lot, mate. I'm so sorry, lads. Right? I've got another question for you, Steve, right? Do you know, if you ever get a bit of spare time in the next year or whatever, I've got a thing that you could do, yeah, if you're into filming. Now, sorry, Ash. So I've bothered with a notorious family around my area, yeah, for many years, 20 years. They're a notorious family. They're very well known, right? And they've got loads of stories, yeah. You could do a documentary on them. They've been saying for years, I bet you someone will come in and do a documentary on them. Mate, honestly, you'd fucking, it'd blow up, it'd fucking make millions. They're fucking nutters. Honestly, you'd love it, lad. You know, a little Welsh travelling family and just absolute crackpots, mate. Honestly, it's like fucking, there's 9 kids, obviously one's just passed away, bless him. But there's 8 kids. You've got the mum and dad, you've got the stepdad, then you've got the dad who's got kids with someone else, then you've got all the family. Oh, it's 60. Sorry anyway.
No worries, mate. We'll have a bit crack. I've got your details anyway. We'll have a bit crack.
I talk too much. Sorry, lads.
So, Mr. Stansby, so I believe you've got quite a personal connection to the autism side of things, unlike yourself. But what does it mean to you? Why have you offered to jump on with us and help us out with it?
Yeah, I mean, me and Paul's we've had some long chats about kids with autism and how hard it is to deal with until you start realizing when it comes to light that your child has autism. Before that, it's quite difficult. One, it's helping raise awareness. 2, it's helping raise money, and there's nothing better than, you know, me and Paul, we have, and you, Ash, as well, don't you? We all have children that are autistic.
My children haven't, but I work in residential, don't I? So I've worked with young people with it.
Yeah. It is a difficult one, and when you get things put in place, especially from what the charities bring in and stuff, it's you know, it helped them in schools, help them with other bits and pieces, because there's all different levels of autism, you know. So without charities getting involved and helping out as and where, especially with parents, because you know it's not easy. It is hard. You know, we spoke about that, ain't we, Paul?
Yeah, we have, mate. We have. It's
it's important. It's close to the heart.
It's very rewarding, isn't it? You know, to be. I mean, it's not a nice thing to watch an autistic child have a meltdown, even to watch your own autistic child have a meltdown, and it literally feel so helpless, you know, and not being able to stop it instantly. Or with your other kids when they cry, and you go, oh yeah, and they'll go, oh, I'm crying or whatever with a lolly or something. This is totally different. It's so totally out of my comfort zone. I say to myself, like, I'm so. Oh, but it's so rewarding to watch when they come out, or you know, the things you do to stop them. See, for example, we were spent a lot of the summer traveling back and forth to a caravan. We're going back and forth to the caravan. She knows the route. It's a 2-hour drive. She knows it. She's only 2 or 3 in the back of the car. She knows the exact route to this caravan. So today, if we jump in that car and start heading towards the caravan, but we're not going to the caravan, we take a right, bang, she's in the back of the car, scratching herself, biting, because she knows she's got it in her head, we're going here. You know, and that's exactly where she knows she's going. Yeah. Honestly, it's crazy how she is, and it blows my mind. It does. I just think, oh, such an amazing little man, such a delicate little man, and it really is rewarding to watch and to see. Do you know what I mean? It's good.
Well, I mean, just our first £5 donation off Alec.
Like all my kids, especially in their own way, all my kids the same way, but it's just, it's this child needs that extra little bit more of your time, of your attention.
And nourishment, innit? Yeah.
The brilliant around that, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
The patients are the same with them. I mean, I've not really experienced much of it until working. I mean, I started off coaching sports with young children and young people. So I'd meet kids in primary schools or whatever it might be. And I'll be honest, I struggled at first. I was a young lad myself when I first started coaching. I think I was 17. Not really experienced much of it. And I found it incredible how amazing the minds work. Because it was just, it's just mad. I mean, you don't, people
You'll
don't
be
realize
surprised how many people are affected by it.
Yeah.
You know, even people that don't know, even people now, adults, they've had it their whole life and not even realised it. Because when we were coming up, there was like nothing there to test you were just a naughty kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now it's
right? Visible.
Paul, there's a kid, right? I've done a few ones. When I first got into K1, right? There was a kid called, and he won't mind me mentioning his name, he's a lovely lad, Charlie Leaf Taggart, absolute legend in the K1 game, but because he's a small kid, he's loud. It's only the heavyweights that get the main recognition in really now on the UK level. But this lad, Leaf Taggart, a lovely kid, so pleasant, he's different. You know, it's this kid walking around the gym going, "Hey mate, you all right?" Absolute killer though, like proper little monster. And I just knew there wasn't something right with him, and you know, it wasn't uncomfortable around. He's a lovely kid. I ended up doing one-to-ones with him, and he really brought me along onto this K1 game. He was a couple of years younger than me as well, but he was fucking, honestly, anyone who type his name in YouTube and watch some of the work, but he doesn't look it. If you see him on the street, you would never in a million years think that this kid was a killer, was an absolute animal. So he messaged me, he follows me, and when I'm my daughter, I started doing this autism awareness, and he messaged me and says, "Oh, Paul, I would like to talk to you." I went, yeah, no problem. And he says, "Oh, I'm on the spectrum, Asperger's and autism." I went, "That's what's up here." He went, "Oh, mate." I went, "No, I didn't mean it like that." I just said, "Mate," I said, honestly. But when shit like that happens to me, I think it's him. I think it's the big fella upstairs that puts stuff in my path like that to pop back in my head later on in life and go, wow, you know. And then it's not a coincidence. It's my mind to the point where it's always been around me. It's always been in my life. but it's just like preparing, like as if God's preparing you for this situation in your life as you get further along in your path. You know, honestly, and I speak to Leaf. Leaf's fighting again soon, and he's big shout out to Leaf. He's a beast, man. Looks such a lovely kid as well.
The key to this event really is it's raising awareness, lads. That's what it is. And it's like, you know, something like autism has been overlooked. And like Paul Stansby's just said there, like, you know, it's something which, you know, some people who had troubles as youngsters and grew into adults and went down the wrong path or whatever, later on, you can see the signs. You know, you should have been diagnosed when you were younger, but the awareness wasn't there back then. And this is something now that's, is now something that you can do. But, you know, all of these YouTube channels, there's been a lot of disrespect, there's been a lot of fallout, some of it's been real, some of it's been genuine, but ultimately if you can use YouTube like this as part of a thing for some goodness, you know what I mean, and to promote the charity and to promote these things, honestly, it's a massive benefit. And I think the YouTube community all pulling together in 2022 in this way will go a long way to actually, you know, the people who follow all the channels will get behind it. I think the first one's the big one, and that's what Dougie and Dean were saying on my podcast the other night. First one's the big one. The first one has to be a success. First one's got to raise a lot of money, and the first one's got to have some good fights on it. But they're not aiming to stop at this. They're looking to, you know, to branch it out up and down the country, and fair play to them for them. But like everybody, everybody's got to start somewhere. When I did my very first unlicensed show, I'd never promoted a boxing show in my life. I had 500 people turn up at the Felon Social Club, and you could only get 400 in, and we oversubscribed. We had 500 people in. We had John Davison topping the bill and having his farewell fight, and it was an absolute barnstormer. And as soon as you start off with a big one, it only goes from better. By the time I had my third fight, I had to get Gateshead Leisure Centre, and I had 2,000 people coming to watch unlicensed boxing. That's how it starts. You need that first event to be an absolute barnstormer. Everybody needs to be going away talking about it. Everything needs to be done right. The promotion, the matchmaking, the fighting, and then obviously, you know, the show needs to go without any hiccups. There's a hell of a lot to take into consideration. The fighters have to do their bit. People like fighting trolls have got to keep, you know, you've got to build it up. You've got to sell the tickets, but you've got to be fit. You've got to come in. You've got to give people a show. And like Dean says, you can't afford to have time wasters. You can't afford to have somebody who's just clout chasing and hoping to sell and hoping to pick up a few subscribers because they're creating a bit of drama for 6 weeks. Well, you need to have people on here who are going to say, I'm going to get up and I'm going to fight and turn up and fight. You know what I mean?
Do you know what I'm doing, Steve? So obviously when I do my training, so throughout the next 10 weeks, obviously, because I started training last week and I got COVID and then bad ear infection where like the infection was running out my ears. It was bad, wasn't it, Paul? Really bad. I was in a bad way, so I'm getting over it now. So Monday I'll be 100%. So what I'm going to do through this next 10 weeks to show Dean and that, so like, because obviously they might think, oh, we're just, like you just said, could be cloud chasing. So I'm going to be sending them like footage and enough every day just for them, not to put up on YouTube, just to show them like, look how much.
Now put it up, man.
What?
Put up your progress, man. Don't.
No, I am going to put it up. I'm not going to put too much up yet, only because I don't want our lads to see how hard I am or how fucking you know what I mean? I am
going to be hard as fuck by the time you finish, brother.
Makes you like mad, won't it?
They've given me the best opportunity I could have ever wished for this year. They've given me the best opportunity, bro. Trust me when I say this. Honestly, it's fucking amazing. I'm thankful to them for it.
Ashley, this comment here, this Mr. C.
Yeah, I
just want to give him a big shout out because he messaged me on Instagram, sent me £100, which I've still got. I wanna if he wants to donate another one, I'll put that in yours. So we'll just split that because he's already given me 100. So what I've already received, I can't take it out because I mean Paul's been directing me and showing me how to do this YouTube stuff. So my monetize and I've had a lot of donations, but you can't. I can't take it out because of the.
We'll sort it another day, mate. Let's we've had a £10 donation off DVG.
It's all accounted for. Everything's there. Do you know what I mean? Mr. D, thank you, mate. Appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, well,
I've got to judge off now, lads. But listen, thanks for having me on.
Thanks very much for coming on, mate. Appreciate your time.
I'll see you
tomorrow. I'll give you the bell, mate. Yeah.
And you ever need any support moving forward, give us a shout, lads. Take care.
Who's going now?
Steve.
Oh, Steve, listen, I'll text you. I'm going to send you a couple of...
Give me an active job. Get us an active job, me. What's this?
Top man. Take
hey,
care,
next
lads.
week.
God bless.
Steve, one day this week in the Snake Pit. Yeah.
He's gone.
Come on, Steve-O. Oh, I can't wait to interview Steve-O. Hey, lads, sorry if I talk a bit too much. I can't help it. Like,
but you used to doing yours, mate. That's all it is.
Yeah.
When you're talking all the time to yours, so don't worry about it.
Going on others and listening. I'm used to just power talking, aren't I?
Yeah.
I can only imagine what the podcast is going to be like.
Wait, Stansby.
Yeah.
I've got some thick stories to release, bro. I can't wait.
I bet.
Yeah, it's going to be good, man. Trust me, bro. We'll get good numbers on it as well.
Right,
Whose channel? Is this on your channel, this one?
No, this is through Dougie's channel, obviously, with it going through 3D Fight Club. And
can I say my piece on the charity? Can I say my piece then?
Go on then.
Again,
so basically, obviously, in the last 3 months or whatever, I've got close to Paul, yeah? I'm we're speaking nice, good lad, I've been up to see him, and I see how close he is with his daughter, mate, do you know what I mean? And I see video, and it's fucking lovely, and I can see it in him. Do you know what I mean? How much he's into the what's it called, the daisy chain thing, because what they do for the kids with autism and that, and it kind of touched my heart, and that. Do you know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie, it did. I'm not sucking his rig. I'm telling the truth. So what I would like to do, yeah, put both charities somewhere. I'm gonna get my mate to help me on my info thing, yeah. And I'm going to do a little thing about it, and then I'm going to obviously speak to people I know who've got a few quid, explain the situation to them and what we're doing and this, that, the other, and hopefully they'll put a few quid in for me. Do you know what I mean? If it's a charity. So yeah, I'm going to help and I'm buzzing with it. And just listen, I'm hopeful. Listen, we're just firing through and helping with everyone. We're nice people in life, aren't we? Do you know what I mean? And that's it.
Mr. Venice. I've had a message from Mr. C. He told you to check your bank. He said he sent it. He found the details.
Oh, awesome, mate. Well, so because he's already given me 100, because he's a proper nice man as well. I had a good chat with him, and that he's very generous of him. So that 100 can go to your cause as well, Johnny. That's what we'll do. We'll keep splitting it.
No problem, mate. Whichever way you want to do it. But what I was thinking was...
Well, he did say that in the comment anyway. That's what he wanted to do, didn't he? That's what he said.
Yeah,
so
that's right. So, I think what we need to do is going forward now. So if we try and get a bit of momentum with this and get the link everywhere, I think I'll come up and see you. We'll go up to Daisy Chain. I'd like to see whether it's sit down and have a brew with them, or we'll go for some dinner or whatever it might be. And you do the same. You come down to Kershaws and see what it's about, because it changes everything. Seeing it for yourself, done it. I don't know the situation obviously with the COVID stuff. I don't know where they'll be up to with any visitors as such. But
before you come, mate, I'll get things in place, mate. I'll sort everything out, mate. I'll get everything sorted, mate.
I just had a message from Liam Ditchy. He said that he's going to help us with the charity. He's going to call me tomorrow.
Lovely.
Can I cut this short, mate? Because I've been waiting on this call. It's my brother from Paul, send me your number on Instagram, mate. We'll keep in contact.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
Lads. Let me just move my camera a bit in my new studio. Look at my new studio.
I'll just say hi to Annie's, hi to Gary, and hi to my mummy if she's watching. But never mind.
Yeah, Liam's a top lad, man. He'd do everything he can to help, that's for sure.
No, I don't know him. There's, and obviously since working with Dougie and stuff, there's a lot of I kind of brought into a new circle of people. There's a lot. I've met that many people this last few months.
Yeah, but just the circle. You know your circle. Just that circle. Just you know what to do, don't you?
Yeah, I keep it cushy. I stay out of stuff. Yeah. Stay out of everything, mate.
Best way, mate. Best way, brother.
Get them on a live with you.
All the people
interested in it whatsoever.
All the people I'm connected with are all just proper good, fucking proper businessmen. Just.
You know what?
Nice people.
Even still, not just the people that come online. I think there's a lot of good people on that come on and watch, regular watchers. It's like the numbers have been over 550 from pretty much the start.
Yeah.
It's nice that we've got some consistency there. People are donating money. I'm getting messages. I'm getting emails popping up on my phone.
Now you will, mate. Listen,
there's 150 quid been donated within, the first.
Yeah, the hardest part is getting that first donation from people, from other people, other than what we're doing. You know, and as soon as you got that first one, that's broken, and it goes on and on from there.
Sorry to interrupt, boys. I can't help it, but Ash, what you need to do as well, brother, right? Is get a PayPal link, right? And whatever goes in that PayPal, split it and put it into both charities.
Yeah. Well, this one's been set up the way it has because it was. I've spoken to a few people and they've mentioned Just Giving first.
Yeah,
so I've done that. But for future events, because what we're going to do now is, like I said before, we're going to crack on with these two charities up to the 19th of March. See what we're bringing then as well. Put it all together. Split it.
Yeah.
New ones leading up to
the I understand that, mate. But what I'm saying is, so when we're on a live stream now, you can put a PayPal link, so it's constantly on the chat. Yeah, it's at the top of the chat, so people will know. Oh, I can just click up there now, boom, put it straight in, and then whatever's in that PayPal, split it. Do you see how I put a PayPal up, and people help me out, like with travel and whatever.
Well, do him a little video so he can get what you're saying, and then send it to him because he'll get that more. Because he's new to all of this. He's new to the internet.
Yeah, well, I helped him with this morning. I helped him. We FaceTimed each other. I used that equipment, and then I helped Paul. Listen, I try. It is what it is. We'll learn. I'm shit at it myself. I'm shite with this shit. But
do you know what I did before? I had Steve waiting, and he were on at about 5 to, and I was like, I'm thinking, why can't I hear him? I've got my earphones in, right, and I've got the laptop on, I've got my phone on, and I'm like, it's just not working. But I had the volume on 0 on the laptop, so I'm waiting for it to come through the earphones. I'm like, can you hear me? And I'm moving his lips and thinking, why is nothing happening? Thinking it's going to be a nightmare. It's the first one I've done, and it's fell on its ass already. And then. Mate. Turn the volume up and there she were, but I was like, God, I tell you, it was a bit of a. I can see now why people have moderators and stuff because going through
you need them, bro.
It's a bit silly, isn't it?
Do you want to make a mod now, and I'll tell you who to mod? Who's a proper
Listen,
people.
We'll do it another time. We'll do it another time. We're probably gonna do something like this probably every 2 weeks or so because I want to try and get some content together to kind of give people an idea of why we're doing what we're doing. And I know that there's going to be people that are skeptical. There's people already talking shit and stuff, but
it's ignore them.
Every bit of proof that is needed to show that it will be split in half and given to them charities will be given.
Just show the journey, man.
That's a given. That's without people saying, "Oh, prove it," and blah blah blah. That's what's going to happen. Just so people know we're serious about raising this money for people, and we might even try and put some bits, put some events on and stuff, and try and raise some more money, whether it's on the road or whatever it might be. But I want to make a really big difference because if you think about it now, if the lads put 6 events on a year, we've got 12 charities there that we could make a really big difference to, and that's every year. Do you know what I mean? So if you think of it over a 10-year period, we're doing a lot for a lot of charities, and that's where. And Dougie were great. I mean, I rang him. It must have been. In fact, it was when everything first started coming up, and I said to him, "I said, how would you feel about me having Dr. Kershaw's charity there?" And he just said, "Do whatever you need to do." And I was like, "Right, brilliant." So then I approached Paul, and I asked him about basically with the charity that he's got a big investment in. He just said straight away, and he was really happy about it. So it's right. Do you know what I mean? And the reaction that I got from him, I knew that it were right. That I trusted and trusted him to pick Daisy Chain. So that's where we're going with it. But yeah, I'm really chuffed with the everybody coming on. So if you're still on with us, I appreciate you coming on.
No problem.
Appreciate you jumping on with us, lads.
Anytime.
So, man, that's it from me, and I will speak to you soon. Be good.
Can I just say something, Scotty, before you go?
He loves it, doesn't he? Hold on. Is it about you?
No, it's about sorry, boys. I can't help it.
Hold on.
This is why we love you, man. Don't worry about it. Go on. What are you saying?
Yeah. So first of all, I want to say, Mr. Stansby, yeah. I was thinking about it last night. I really want to get a podcast done soon, bro. Like, fucking.
Yeah, we are.
So I'm willing to travel to you, bro, if you fancy it soon.
Yeah.
I'll just travel down to you, bro, and just fucking stay down. I'll pay for me fucking travel and all that carry on. It's all blessed, man. I'll sort it out, and I'm not asked. I just want to sit there, yeah, talk for like an hour and a half, and tell all my stories, like the things I've gone through, the things I've seen, the things I've been, you know. But I want to tell it where, like, I know it's glorifying it a bit, but it's my story, innit?
Yeah, but look, the whole point of the podcast that we do is like you've been through it, and now you come out the other end, and you're doing more positive things, and that's good.
In 3 years, like at the end, obviously, I'll just tell you quick why I've changed is obviously because my nana passed away, and I promised her I'll never go back to prison again. The night before she passed away, she was dying on the phone, and she was like, please promise me, because I've grew up with me nana, so basically I promised I'll never go back. So from that day, I got out 2 months later, and I've never looked back, bro.
Well done, mate.
Completely changed my life, I've changed everything about everything. People can chat shit in the comments and that make up lies. They got nothing on me. I've been an open book from day one. I've said the truth about everything, and they hate that about me, I don't hide nothing. Do you know what I mean, bro? I don't hide nothing.
We'll get it done, mate. We'll get it done. Message me.
You've got your little podcast thing going on there. If everyone wants to follow that and Fighting Trolls, I'll give a shout out to the Jab Company.
I appreciate it, man.
Platinum Bespoke Furniture, Jab Signature, Jab Security, 3D Fight Club, DJ Jim Word is loads. There's going to be more this year. You will get sick of hearing about us. I'm not bothered.
I'm going live on my channel again in a minute for fucking confrontation, laughter, fucking banter,
get over there, get on it.
Exposure, fucking anything that goes on in Fighting Trolls goes on in Fighting Trolls. So come over.
That's it.
You know, let's go. Go on, stay flash.
The guys that donate, thank you very much. Nice one. Hey, you might be able to.
Well done tonight, Ash. Well done, mate.
Cheers, mate. Listen, I appreciate everybody coming on. They will be regular, and we'll keep everybody up to date with how we're doing. If anybody wants to get involved and they're genuine about it, not just being donkeys and just taking the piss, feel free to message me on Instagram. It's Ashley McGiffin Jab, and like I said, go and follow Paul Stansby's podcast. But yeah, everyone take care and have a good weekend, and thank you very much. Cheers, mate.
See you soon. See you later.
Bye, mate.
Well done, mate.